Everybody, go to chess.com/live. Do not just watch this in Twitch. Create a free membership and then guess the move. The players rematched because they're that excited, and then the game was aborted. We're about to play classical chess now.
And note that I saw Georg Meyer, GM Georg Meyer, was in 10th place in Guess the Move there. So players are doing better than Grandmaster Georg Meyer, who's one of the best Blitz players we have on chess.com.
One of the best chess players on the planet. Yes.
Absolutely. And he wins many Title Tuesday events. But back to the chess. That was huge for Hikaru.
Yeah, to hold that position was huge.
He would have been down 3 games, which he's never faced that deficit in these matches before. So staying within 2-game deficit was very big for him. And a very funny note there is that we got a little notification. Hikaru may have violated our fair play policy because he aborted the game. They didn't like that, apparently. So he,
that makes our members happy that we try to control game abusers from starting and aborting. But Hikaru will not have his account restricted. He aborted appropriately because he's not supposed to play another chess line 60 position. Hikaru's confident right now. He's zoned in. This is normal chess. Going a little bit back to the structure we've seen work out so well for Carlsen in this match. But a little bit different with the early structure, creating the isolated pawn. An isolated pawn means he's all alone, just like the word means in real life, right? No one likes to be isolated, and that's a weakness when you don't have a defense by other pawns. But in order to justify the isolated pawn, usually black has things like more control over some central squares, like he does here. So that's kind of the battle for everybody at home. Hikaru might have to deal with a pony popping into e4 at some point. Maybe rook c8's a move here. I would say rook c8 or knight e4 is a move that's coming.
So rook c8 will run into bishop h3. Now, it looks funny because normally our bishop is fianchettoed. We like to keep it in front of the king on g2, but now bishop h3 actually attacks some material, and the bishops are great.
Yeah, so that would be a move ill-advised for Magnus. He's probably considering, I think he's probably considering which knight to pop into e4 with. I would suggest the f6 knight because it frees up opportunities for my pieces to kind of get more active. I don't like the move bishop f8. I was right as I say that. I don't like it because it opens the e-file. Magnus shakes his finger and says, "Silly Danny." Okay, so I thought bishop g5 might be irritating, but maybe it was just h6 and no problem, I guess. Okay.
Well, right now, the thing is, if you go knight c to e4, I'll consider capturing my rook as the c7 square, right?
Absolutely.
The rook and the bishop work very well together on the open line. And now, this is... So there's no longer an isolated pawn, important for all the viewers, that the f7 took on e6, protects the pawn on d5. However, there's going to be huge problems with a lot of the squares now. Queen d4 is a very nice looking option. Queen d4 is a nice looking option, and the point is that after queen to d4, you're attacking the pawn on b6 some more. The rook will come, and he went queen d4. Guess the move working out for me.
Yep.
And the point is now here, rook to c1, swinging the rook, hitting the queen on c8, and all of a sudden white is gaining all the space. Right,
and the b6 pawn is being threatened. Speaking of guess the move, let's announce it. We have literally hundreds and hundreds of people playing guess the move right now in the live server. First place in guess the move right now is user Nulita with 235 out of 483. Second place is Grandmaster Georg Meyer, 168 correct out of 283 total guesses. Third place is a username My Sick Duck. I had to read that correctly so as not to offend any small children. And he is in third place with 151 out of 360. So we are tracking your performances. Of course, we're giving away more than just 3 prizes. Lots of premium memberships being given away on chess.com today, but just want to point that out. So knight to c5. Hikaru is really outplaying Magnus here. This is a phenomenal position
and
for
the reason
white.
why, look at that bishop on b7. Let's point that out. Where is that bishop going?
Big pawn, big pawn.
Exactly.
It's stuck behind squares.
What you going to do when you come for you?
Big pawn, big pawn. What you going to do? What you gonna do when they come? And here comes the 7th rank.
There's big pawn. There's 2 bishops for white. The bishop on f4 is unopposed. There's no dark square bishop for black.
Let's just say white has 99 problems, but the bishop pair ain't one right now.
Totally agree with that.
And when the 7th rank gets going,
I wouldn't go queen c7 because rook c8, trying to trade off all the pieces.
You're forcing me to trade. I'm never happy when you do that. Stop it. Stop forcing me to trade.
Queen
things.
b6, a nice move. Now maybe I'll go rook c5. Trying to capture with the pawn.
The nice thing about that move, everybody, is if Magnus took it, we'd get a protected passer, and so that's why Robert is suggesting that move. No, he trades, but what's the forcing follow-up?
Well, there doesn't be forcing. Just what is black going to do? Black really doesn't have that many moves to work with. Now,
this reminds me of a position that Magnus won against Hikaru recently with the bishop pair outplaying black, but this is in an over-the-board game. But so the thing about this decision is it's so bad for Magnus, but also, okay, now it's up for Hikaru to prove it, right? I was going to suggest a move like f3, put the queen here, say no thank you, then play f3 and maybe slowly improve the position. Okay, he finally plays the move I've been guessing. He's going to play king f2, maybe even king f3, and once he's in a position of total dominance, he might be willing to trade queens because this king can maybe make a run for it.
That is a nice move, queen e3, forcing the king back, and now look at the pawn e6 is weak. The queen still controls the b6 square, the c5 square, etc., and now black is moving backwards. White can now go king f2, move forwards.
I love it. And here comes this idea that I've been talking about with king f2, followed by bringing the king up. Yep, guess the move there, and Hikaru is in the driver's seat. Will he go as far as what I said? Yes, he does. He goes all the way to king e3 now. And so when the king gets this close, what's going to happen, everybody, is he's going to force a queen trade and then just walk the king in here, right? Walking in Memphis, and there's nothing black can do about it.
He's putting on his blue suede shoes.
I was testing you, and you passed that pop culture quiz, my friend.
Absolutely. I'll board that plane. But right now, there's a big problem for black, and there's nothing to do. You're moving back and forth, and there's really not much going on. Bishop d4 blocks that one check. And now, unfortunately for Magnus, look at the clock as well. We can't forget the time situation. Hikaru up 40 seconds on the clock, dominating on the board. And now look at this. He might reroute that bishop over to c5 to gain more space.
Yeah, Hikaru is he's kind of playing tickle here. He's just sitting on it happily. I mean, you see he's focused and confident. That's Hikaru look number 7. Anything in the top 10 usually means he likes the direction of the game. And okay, he gives back the c file there. I don't know about bishop e5. I might have put the queen on the battery first and then, but Hikaru's in control, and this is a tough position. If you look at the clock, it says he's in control. If he wins this game, he's back within a point. This match has been a wild and crazy one, back and forth stuff. Thank you for being here. If you're just joining us, again, we've got a lot of people watching the show, nearly 30,000 live viewers on Twitch, and
yeah, I mean, they're watching. Everyone's happy. I'm loving this. And look at that. No, it's not loving it. The knight on e8, because that bishop on e5 dominates it. The bishop controls every square the knight could possibly go to. Now you might want to trade queens. This actually is he does do it. And Danny, it looks like it is, with this king running, it's going to be a big, big problem because black is very much stuck. There's nowhere to really go. White can just start moving pawns forward. E3, he's slow playing it a little bit. And the knight has to remain on d7. So if white can somehow bring that bishop to e5, then start moving forward, eventually move bishop e5 now.
Yeah, bishop e5. Black is just I think there's no rush.
Well,
that's
bishop e5,
why.
I'm throwing take and go king c5. My king's just running.
Okay, yeah, but I think that black is in a position where any trade could lead to just a dead loss endgame, and it's kind of nice, partner, when we've actually, kind of foreshadowed the direction the game's going to head, and white is going to win this game by just dominance over this bad bishop and over the entry into these squares with an active king, and that's what we want to. That's what we want to see right now. Currently, this chess stream is the 4th most watched thing. No, it is the 2nd. We are the 4th most watched stream on Twitch.tv right now. Right ahead of us is the World of Warcraft. So if you want to know why chess is fun, right now we are. Yeah, what did he do there? He allowed the knight to b6. He let the knight out. He let the knight out. No fun right there. Why not knight c4? Oh, he's just going to take the draw. No. White has to play for a win here, even with the time advantage. I think Hikaru knows he wants this win. But Magnus may be feeling a little bit better than he has for most of the game.
Well, I don't see how white breaks. That's the big problem. He's committed his pawns like this. Look at this. The pawns are on the dark squares, which means they can't support a light square break.
I think white breaks at some point with a tactic. Is it possible to play a4? That's the move I'm looking to do. Or is it e4? No.
f5.
F5, tacticos,
Wow.
Look, Magnus paused and took a breath there. If you're not watching the player, oh, here it comes. Yup, you called it, my friend. And F5 might be the game changer.
Look at Hikaru. He is so calm right now.
And he's focused. This is a win. That's a breakthrough that black is not going to be able to recover from. That king is just too active.
Well, let's see. You have to time it correctly because you don't want king b7.
Knight e5.
Well, no, king b7 or king d5 maybe, and then the king kind of cuts you off. I was going to go king c6.
Yeah, and we have seen Hikaru already lose an endgame he had no business losing. So that's not something he wants.
Wow. Hikaru I don't know who's winning this race, and I don't think it's Hikaru.
Draw?
Hikaru might lose.
No, I think it's a draw. If you trade and then king
But
c6,
black queen's
f4.
first. Black queen's first. I'm gonna try to take the h pawn. Try to trade queens. You have to be very careful about how you play this.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Queen
checks.
f5 check. I think it's over. Queen.
Is Magnus gonna pull another miracle?
But look at this. The king will just come over and grab the pawn.
This is just ridiculous. His ability to flip the endgames around. I mean, his play has been so accurate. I mean, that was a position. I mean, just evaluate it from just a few moves ago, right? This is a position where I can't even get back there in time, but White has no business losing.
Yeah.
More active king, totally dominant.
Oh, he blundered his queen.
And he blundered his
for
queen.
the second
and Magnus
time in the match.
and Magnus.
Oh, Magnus cracking up.